Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to show you how you can use Windows subsystem for Linux and then connect it to your Visual Studio Code editor to directly write the file into the Linux machine. So let me check on the status of my WSL. So I'm running Windows 10, and then if I just say WinVar to check the version, I'm running build number 19041.40450. This is absolutely up to date version of Windows 10 which is I'm running. And then if I go inside command prompt and then I type WSL and then say L, I will be able to see the list of Linux distros I can use on top of this WSL. I can have many more such. So just in case you want to see what all options available, you can go to Microsoft Store and then you can search for let's say Ubuntu, and then if you search here you will find Ubuntu, different versions of Ubuntu available. You can just select and then install, and this will show up in your application list. So I've installed Ubuntu, and then once you install for the first time, what you need is that you need to set up a username and a password which will be used as your root user. After the initial setup is done, what you will get in your menu is a present Ubuntu icon. So you can either click here or go from WSL to initiate that. So right now I can do that from here, and as I open this window, you can see that I have got the prompt coming up, and then if I say who am I, you will see that the default user which I set after the installation was done is kind of showing up, and then I can see various different files within that, right? You can see there is one file, and then I can create new file, let's say touch F. That's a new file I have created. So you'll find new file. So it's pretty much the Linux kernel which I'm using from my Windows desktop. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start working on these files from my Visual Studio Code. I can use either Vim or Nano to work on the file. So for example, if I want to use Nano F, and then I can just start hello and save yes, but I kind of lose the power of a lot of capabilities which otherwise an IDE generally offers. So let me see how we can work from our Visual Studio Code. So if I open the Visual Studio Code, now this you can see from the window, there is something called I can open let me close that, and then I can open the remote WSL, which ideally, if you for the first time, if you want to do that, you can just open the command prompt, command pal, and you can just say connect to the host. You can connect to your local, or you can even connect to your remote machine by using public IP address. So you can even put the SSH command. So once you connect that, right, and you get to see that you have it, and then if you say that I want to, let's say, close the window and let me open the Visual Studio kind of like from the beginning, open a folder. You can see that this shows the path, not the Windows path, but the path which is in my WSL. So for example, if I go ahead and create a folder code, and then I go to this code and I see the list of files over there, there is nothing. I can directly jump over here and say go to code. So let me just check that. ls code. I go to this code folder and I say home redo code. So that's a path. So I need to provide the right path. So I'll say redo and then say code, and I hit OK. And this will open my Visual Studio Code in that folder. And as you know that there is no files folders created in that, so I can see nothing over here. But if I put my code, let's say I say bash, and I create a folder file inside that bash, let's say hello.sh, and that's a bash file I want to create, and I start writing the bash script over here, bin bash, and then I say echo hello. You see, I get the full power of my Visual Studio Code over here, so I don't need to really worry about those complexities of going into nano, writing things in the native Linux window. And then I can just go ahead and say save. By default it is auto save, so I don't have to click save every time, but you can just click on save. And then if you start say ls, you say, see here there is another folder called bash already created. Earlier there was nothing. And then if I go inside this folder, that's my bash folder, you will find that this holds a file called hello.sh. Now hello.sh is a bash file, so I can say that hello.sh and it says hello. I can make it an executable file as well, to let you know that it's not executable at this moment in time. So I say chmod plus x hello.sh, and then it becomes an executable file. I can now just say simply hello.sh, and then it is hello.sh done. Now you can do a lot of bash activities. For example, you can say echo, and then I say 1.100, and I can even, let's say instead of echo I can say touch, and then I say .txt. So this will basically be creating 100 txt files. And if I just say save and I come back over here, run the same command, it's gonna go ahead and create all the files. Just to check, you will find all the files created in the same folders, which means that the bash is working, and it is the same bash which I see in my Visual Studio Code getting directly into my Linux kernel. Now, as I said that this is not about WSL, but also you can connect to any remote machine. If you have, for example, if you have any in Azure, you can point to that as well. So with this convenient way of building and working on Linux files, you can leverage the Visual Studio Code, and in a headless server, you don't really get those power of desktop. Otherwise, you get an Ubuntu desktop or any other K desktop mode, which basically is very convenient way when you deal with multiple lines of code files with a lot of indentation, etc. So with this, I want to thank you for watching.